Hi there, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this reading finds you well and enjoying March thus far. We're almost at April, right? And this new moon is in Aries. So, quite a power punch of a new moon, right? It's like the very first sign of the zodiac, and a new moon is a beginning, a new beginning in and of itself. So it's a wonderful time to lay the groundwork for a vision that we are crystallizing, that we are hoping to bring into manifestation and fruition in some shape or form, right? And so it's a lovely time to crystallize the vision, to think deeply, right, about what it is that we want to create, what it is that we want to bring to manifestation in some shape or form. And the process of that, right, on one hand, aligning and identifying and acknowledging whatever it is that we desire and whatever it is that we seek, while at the same time, right, recognizing, making peace with, releasing what doesn't serve us into that future. So it's a beautiful time, right, to meditate, and I hope that these readings are helpful for you in some way through that journey forward. All right, thank you so much, and without further ado, here we go. Hi there, Scorpio. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your new moon reading for the 26th of March. So, Scorpio, I was meditating on your sign before I turned on the camera, and I was shuffling, and out popped, in a very deliberate fashion, two mini decks. A substantial pile of cards, exactly in parallel with the Five of Swords in reverse. So, and there absolutely seems to be an interaction between these two. I'm heeding this and decided to move with that, all right? The Four of Wands is your theme, overlaying the Six of Wands, overlaying the Seven of Swords in reverse, overlaying the Sun of Swords in reverse. So, before I continue, let me just plug in as it's about to die. All right. Sorry about that, Scorpio. All right. So we're seeing here, right, a sort of aha moment, an awareness of some kind of our path, of the journey we want to make moving forward. It speaks to our transformation, our inner transformation, that which I feel absolutely has been a long time coming for you, Scorpio. And it accompanies, right, the release of truth in some kind of way. All right? So, whatever this change is that you've had, even a vision of how do I want to actually make this change happen, right? What is the path going to be that I move through and along as I transform? It could be creative direction as well. The official transformation that you make, Scorpio, will require you to reveal a side of yourself that perhaps for a long while has remained under wraps in some kind of way. Okay. The Son of Swords, right, and we're having an interplay here with sword energy. That of the Son of Swords and that of the Seven of Swords. The Son of Swords is flying almost in reverse, right, from the bottom up into the Four of Pentacles, which is in reverse. So, it's very interesting. Look, the Four of Pentacles is overlaying the Three of Cups. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Overlaying Judgment. So, Scorpio, look, right? And Judgment is overlooking the Son of Wands upright, and the Son of Wands is overlooking the Fool in reverse, overlooking the Ten of Cups. Okay. Scorpio, look, right? There is. You keep getting the Judgment card. Okay, I remember this for you. You keep getting the Judgment card. Whatever this transformation is, it speaks to your truth. It speaks to the transformation of your being as a whole. It's not just like, I didn't say this one thing to this one person and it's eating me alive. It's like, no. It's like there's an uprooting of the tree of your life. And what is impending is a creative direction. Okay, we're having two fours pop out for you here. The Four of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. So with whatever this aha moment is, right, you may have the vision. Absolutely. You likely have the vision for it, the creative foresight of what it is, the world you want to move into. But it's about the laying of the foundation, right? Well, okay, creatively, I know that that's what I aspire towards. But what is the sort of stability, right, of all of this? How do I make sense of this creative potential that I know I have in such a way that leaves me, right, the leg room to be creative and yet still feel stable. So, right, we're seeing a fusion between creativity and caution, stability, responsibility. Okay, so there's some aspect of this world, right? It's like you're just peeping through the keyhole. That's what I'm feeling. This is like peeping through the keyhole. Okay. But it's a matter of moving into that world, Scorpio, that there is a little bit of resistance, okay, that we're feeling accompanies this change. But let me tune in 1 second, Scorpio. Okay. To make this change, Scorpio, and you've been getting this, the Three of Cups sort of phenomenon here, right? You must make peace with the old world that does not align with whatever this new world is that you are so fascinated by, so entranced by, so keen on pursuing in some kind of way, right? It's like here you have all of this very motivated, strategic work, right? That's fueling whatever this process is. But then you have, right? Then you have all this white noise. You have all this sort of these hurdles, okay, to jump through. It's like look at the acrobatics, right? The acrobatic show of the Son of Swords. It's like flying in reverse. Like, birds don't do that. Right? It's like, and the feeling I'm getting here with the Seven of Swords, if you can see that, is I'm hearing like triathlon, right? I don't know if that's coming to me, but also it's like a feeling of I don't know, I'm getting like a relay race, right? But that could mean something to some of you. But what I'm trying to encapsulate here is that vision of one who is like in some sort of race, okay, in some sort of competition even, all right, needs to jump through the hoops, needs to jump through the hurdles, right? It's kind of like that sort of that sort of process. And it's like a game. It's like a game, right? It's a game. And you're like secretly done with that game. You're like, I don't really want to play this game anymore. Right? It's like, I'm not having fun at this party. I'm gonna sit by the bowl of fruit punch in the corner, right? But I'm also like not gonna come out and speak my truth to everyone. I'm gonna just, it's also like a passive aggressiveness as well to this card. So there's a lack of distinct sort of motion, right? That I'm feeling with these cards. It's like, and the Three of Cups precedes the Judgment card. So the letting go, right? It's like you gotta just uproot it. You got to uproot it. But you may be focusing first, right? Like, before I uproot it, before I do that, well, how am I going to feel stable in this new world? How is it going to actually look, taste, feel, sound, right? What are the parameters? I'm also hearing legal parameters. You may be thinking about that as well. Okay. And you have the Son of Swords, right? Absolutely. Legal counsel could be speaking to that. Okay, let's, you have Scorpio, right? These two decks, I mean, this was one card, right? But it's parallel to this deck that flew out. And I'll read them off to you here. On the left-hand side, right, this one card, the Five of Swords, popped out in reverse in such a way where the one sword that divides, right, the two hemispheres of this card is pointing straight into this deck, which is overlaid by the Mother of Pentacles in reverse. The Eight of Cups beneath that in reverse. Death upright. The Emperor in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune upright. The Daughter of Wands upright. The Hierophant upright. The Moon upright. Interesting. Very interesting. Ten of Wands upright. The Two of Cups in reverse. The Two of Pentacles upright. The Hanged Man in reverse, to which point the Hanged Man is actually standing upright in the card. Okay. So, Scorpio, this is significant. This is like one long snake of energy. Okay, that's the only way I can really put it. All right, this is like, and it's like this is what it is. It's a domino effect. It's a domino effect. And what is going on here is there's almost like a pinprick, okay, of a moment, of a decision, of the ripping off of the Band-Aid, Okay, Scorpio, every time I film for you, the lights flicker. Okay. It's that strong metaphysical energy that you guys have is just always somehow infiltrates the reading. Okay. Five of Swords, right? Five of Swords. It's about that one finite moment, right? It's like ripping off the band-aid. I know I got to do this, right? The dominoes will not be set into effect until I pop the balloon. Okay, and it's kind of like that feeling, that same feeling with the Son of Swords, right? It's like that popping of the balloon. So, where we're seeing, right, the acknowledgement, but from a distance of this world we want to enter. We then see, right, the contrast of entering into it officially and pursuing it, seeking it out, right? There's this interplay, this contrast between approach and how we are actually actively involved in whatever this transition is in our lives that we are hoping to come to make come about, right? But there's so much pressure and so much emphasis on this Five of Swords. But it's interesting because it's such a simple moment, right? It's just that one sword that slices through and confounds any sort of conception. The light is just getting darker and darker and darker. Take it as you will, Scorpio, whatever this may mean to you, right? It's like you may need to face your shadows, right? You may need to face your shadow self. Okay, this process may require you to step into the dark, right? And it's a new moon period. It's the perfect time for that. I look so ghostly here. Okay. But nonetheless, right? I'm a Scorpio rising, so hey, this also applies to some degree, right? But it's about taking that sword, that one sword, and getting to the core of what's real, what's true, what the authenticity of our life really is. What is that, right? What is the light? What is the clarity? What is the answer? And it lies in your truth, and it lies in your alliance with that truth, standing up for it, taking that one sword, right? That one sword, that we are lying over, that points in the direction that's opposite to all of these other swords, right? Where we feel somewhat contrary to our environment, to the beliefs, the opinions of those around us, right? Every time. Interesting. All right. We are now, right, seeing, we're not just laying on the sword, we're taking the sword, and we are acting with it. Okay, great emphasis on this one moment. And it marks the head of this domino, this chain. Do you see that? Wow, this is interesting, Scorpio. This is really interesting. I'm feeling that whatever this is for you, it's going to it's got to be sudden. Okay, Scorpio, it's got to be like ripping off the band-aid, right? But what I'm feeling for you is that whatever it is that you set into motion, right? It's going to lead to progress. It's going to be fast. I'm feeling it's going to be fast. So the Five of Swords is like jabbing straight into this otherwise very nurturing, mothering energy that is stable, that is grounded, right? Mother of Pentacles. Okay, so Do you see the interplay of light going on, Scorpio? I'm feeling that a lot of this, coming to this point, is going to require you to detoxify from, right? Enter that quiet space. Get really one-on-one with yourself, with your soul, right? To that point where it's like, you're facing it all. You're like, I don't care. I'm going to walk into this cave. It's super dark, and I'm hearing water dripping from from the walls of this cave, and I'm going to confront it. Right? Whatever I find in here, I know that it's not about, right, what I encounter. It's about the process, right? The journey of making it through whatever fear I have of this whole progress, of this whole process, sorry, right? So it's just the action of doing it that I feel is so important for you, right? Is so important for you. And I'm feeling you think it's just, right, whatever this is to you, I'm feeling it's going to be different for everyone. Whatever this speaking out is, whatever this decision is, whatever this final, right, hurrah is for you, is going to mean so much more that you may not even realize, right? It's like, on one hand, you feel, I got to make this decision. I got to say what I need to say. I need to, right, speak the truth in some fashion, and then you think, right, it's like, okay, it's about that. It's about saying what I need to say. It's about resolving whatever the situation is. But I'm feeling that once you do this, you're going to realize that it was so much more than just that. I'm feeling, is going to speak to the reawakening of your soul, of your truth, of how you see yourself even, okay? It's like once you face the darkest part, right, or your fear, which is really, right, what it is, the shadow. It's like a greater understanding comes about, right? Even just of yourself. Like where you I'm compelled to say this. It's like you fear what you don't know. Right? And so Scorpio, it's like it's not even that it's scary. It's that it's just you don't know what it is. You don't know. It's something new for you. You haven't confronted maybe this side of yourself in some way. So it's almost like it's just the performance anxiety of it, right? But once you do it, right? Once you do it, and once you just show yourself that you can do it, it's going to be a whole new world for you. You're going to be able to appreciate the light because you saw the dark. That's very important for me to tell you, Scorpio. I'm feeling that's very, very, that is significant for you, okay? It's seeing the dark, facing the dark, right? And Scorpio, you're ruled by Pluto. Like, Pluto's all about, right? The death card is you guys, right? This is your card, Scorpio. Death, right? Phoenix rising from the ashes. Like, I want, right, to face that. Because I know that facing that is what is going to initiate my transformation, my change. And so it's the acknowledgement. It's the acknowledgement of the dark, right? Where previously it's like, I'm living in the day. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm living in the day, right? Not acknowledging the other side in some way, not acknowledging the shadow space that there may be, that we need to come to terms with in some shape or form. And so it's about the recognition of both of the halves of our being, right? And I'm thinking of the Justice card, right? With the black cat and the white cat. In the middle, there's that sword, the unifying force between the yin and the yang, right? The two halves of our being coming together it's like such polarity, right, can still coexist. And it should, and it must, and it has to, right? You have to have the light to have the dark, and you have to have the dark to have the light. It's like that kind of thing. So similarly to the moon cycle in and of itself, right? It's like the dance between the moon and the sun, right? The moon would not be the moon if it didn't have the sun's light that was reflecting it. So, or reflecting on it rather, right? So think about that concept if you feel it resonates with you, Scorpio. I'm feeling for a number of you that's an important concept. Okay. Now, let's get into this here. You know what I'm thinking, Scorpio? It's like that game. It's like that game. Oh, it's like the, I used to play this on Neopets, but shout out to anyone who has ever played Neopets and knows what I'm talking about. But Neopets had this game, and I think it exists beyond Neopets. But anyways, it's with that snake, right? The snake or the on it depends on, I guess, where you play it. It's like a different animal every time. But whatever it is, it's like a snake, and it like eats eggs, and as it eats eggs, it becomes longer. Like the eggs get attached to its tail, and so it's like a maze-like sort of configuration of a game. Okay, and so every egg that it eats, it becomes longer and longer and longer, and that's the challenge of the game, is that the longer the tail gets, right? You can't run into your tail. You can't run into your own tail. So I'm feeling that feeling here. I'm feeling that feeling here for you, Scorpio. But it's reverse. It's like you're not growing the tail. You're going through the tail. Like you are reverse eating the tail. Like that's so weird, and that sounds super strange, but I'm feeling that for you, right? It's like rather than like, because when the snake eats the eggs, then the eggs become part of it. Like it embodies that, but in a way that is like accumulated. It's like baggage almost. It's like a big baggage tail. And so, but for you, it's like, look, this sword is poking straight into the Mother of Pentacles, which is the head of this tail. And it's going to go straight through the whole tail. So it's going to like obliterate. It's going to move through all of this buildup, okay, of energy. So, whoa. It's like, it's all in this. It's all in this moment, right? It's all in this moment, and nothing is actually holding us back from that, right? It's an illusion. It's all an illusion, right? The worm is not actually a hindrance to the sword. It's not like the sword cannot move through or past the worm. It's just that feeling of like, once I do this, right, can't take the worm back. There's no going back once I make this change. Okay, so recognizing, right, what's holding you back from making this beginning, get set off into motion, is I'm feeling what is going to come through for you perhaps, or is there something that you would behoove you to focus on during the new moon, right? To think deeply about that. So now, Mother of Pentacles heads the whole tail off. I'm going to call it like that, all right? In reverse. And so it's like a storyline, right? It's like the Five of Swords and the Mother of Pentacles. It's like so opposite, and yet so similar. Why? Swords. It's like jabbing. It reminds us of war, right? It reminds us of conflict, of discord, and of some kind, right? It's about just brute sort of force forward, especially as we see it in the Five of Swords. The Mother of Pentacles is a nurturing energy, right? It's like soft, it's protective, right? So, but we see this same sort of interplay that exists between these two cards in and of themselves on this one card. Okay, so the interplay between nature, nurturing, right? And the need to move through the illusion of being bound to whatever that is. So, Scorpio, if you feel like there is a situation that you feel somewhat bound to, or that you've felt somewhat bound to, that you feel just needs to transform. I cannot play this part forever. This is right. This is stagnant. I'm feeling stagnant. So, and if you feel, right, like, you gotta think, what is holding me back? What do I feel some sort of obligation to the situation where I feel responsible for something, that I feel like I run the show. I'm hearing that I run the show, right? Is there something about the situation that you feel I can't just abandon it, right? I can't break it to them. I can't break it to them that I no longer want to wear this, right? I don't want to be this character on stage anymore, right? Or simply, it doesn't have to be a character, but it could just be, I'm also hearing, I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this. Or it's like our time is up. Whatever this is, right? It's like, it's that feeling of feeling that maybe you have mothered a certain situation for a little too long. You feel perhaps that the time is now, okay, to let someone off on a journey of independence, if that makes sense for some of you. I'm feeling it applies for a number of you guys, all right? But nonetheless, right, it's like you need greater independence in some way. Whatever the situation has been emotionally dissatisfying. 8 of Cups in reverse. Death looking over at the 8 of Cups. It's like, Death is like, come on, like, let's get real with this. This was not satisfying, right? And it hasn't been. And I've been ready. It's like, Death is like standing by, like on standby, right? It's like the situation is long gone. It's been a long time coming, right? To transmute this energy. And so behind Death, right? Behind Death is the Emperor in reverse. You've been getting this card. Scorpio. Okay. The Emperor in reverse, behind the Death card, speaks to the uprooting. Right, the uprooting of the tree of our life, right? I said that earlier in the video. It's the bringing down of the scaffolding of whatever this world is that we've built up, whatever our position has been in that world, right? It may have been very prestigious, the Emperor, but it was also restricting, right? This is Aries' card. It's a fire card, but you don't see a whole lot of fire here. You see more earth. So it's like the containment of fiery creative potential. Whatever this position was, perhaps, whatever, it's a predicament or a family situation or a career that you're in or that you've been in or that you were in, that didn't allow you full creative range. Okay, and you felt, hey, you know what? I'm not just this Mother of Pentacles. Like, I am not just, right? Like, I have an urge to create. And somehow my environment has not been conducive to the unleashing of that propensity within myself. And so, right, taking down this tree, this Emperor, this position, this role, inevitably leads to the Wheel of Fortune, right? The turning of fate. It's like, what am I going to step into once I step out of this, right? What is that junction? And inevitably, you don't know, right? That is sort of the process of the Death card in and of itself, right? It's like surrendering to the new process ahead that awaits, and simultaneously surrendering to the stepping away from whatever was not, right? What is not aligned with that future. So there's some letting go. There's some letting go that is required here in some capacity. that will allow this wheel to turn, right? Change, to allow change to come. We have to change ourselves, our environment, to come to terms with our emotional dissatisfaction in whatever place we've remained. Even if, right, it may mean changing our relationship with someone or something that has been for quite some time, right? Even like an ideology of how we are to exist in our world and what forms stability and groundedness, right? Okay, now, Daughter of Wands following the Wheel of Fortune. Whatever this world is, it's like you stepping into it. This is what I'm feeling for you. You stepping into it, you're going to have your wand in hand ready. You're like, this did not, right? It's like I had no wand here. Like I was technically Aries here, right? Like it was technically a really fiery energy here, but, right, powerful creator, leader, like, but that wasn't the kind of fire I wanted. Like this is the kind of fire that I want. I want to create. I want to have my independence. Right? I'm not all about standing perched, stagnant, right? Like stationary on this tree, on this land, day in and day out. Okay. Like that is not the spontaneity that I seek, that I'm feeling is going to come once you surrender to the uncertainty of this next stage in your life. All right. Your journey. And so the Hierophant following the Daughter of Wands, this is the most wise card in the deck, Scorpio, right? The speaker of intuition, right? It's like you have all the answers. It's very interesting. You have all the answers. That's going to support you, right? It's like your own intuition is going to support you through this process. It's going to drive your creativity. Okay, it may involve philosophy, it may involve spirituality to a significant degree, creating in an environment that regards, that acknowledges the spiritual realm, that regards the philosophical propensities, right? And so, you're followed by the moon, speaking to, again, mystery, not knowing, not having the answers, but still sharing the light of the moon that guides us forward, listening to our intuition. That is our navigation in the dark, right? Where we don't have the answers, the clear answers, the logical answers. We have, right, the direction. We have the direction. And that is brought by way of aligning with our intuition. So what's interesting between these two cards is one speaks to absolute mystery, but also, right, the heating of listen to your intuition. That's going to be the light in the dark for you. Okay, and there's a lot of interplay between light and dark regardless for you in this spread, as we talked about, right? But nonetheless, right, it's like where we see mystery, not knowing, we see answer, knowing, wisdom, right? So there's an interplay between these energies. And there's, again, right, this oscillation between knowing, not knowing, moving, waiting, right? Apprehension, impulse. So there's a need to surrender to not knowing logically, okay? And instead aligning with your personal conviction, your personal answer, right? Look at this Hierophant sitting on his key, its key, right? What do I believe? What's my personal wisdom, right? It's like not universal. That's the feeling I'm getting. It's like focus on what is your personal truth, you as an individual. And that's different for everyone, right? What's right for you is not necessarily going to be right for everyone else. And what is right for someone else is not going to be necessarily right for you. So it's about focusing on that. That is your answer. There's no answer, right? To, or even justification, I'll say it like that, for what it is that you want to create in your life. So seek the answers within. That's what I'm feeling for you, Scorpio, okay? Now, following the moon, you have the 10 of Wands. There's a need to change your habit patterns, the way that you do things, right? Day in and day out. It's like the cycle is coming to a close. And as you enter into this new world, right, you need to reassess the way that you go about your daily life, the way you go about living in this new world. Okay, it's sort of like you got to leave everything behind. And we talked about this concept. I remember it for your April reading, perhaps it was April, or it was, I believe it was April. Okay, right, so change of environment, right? I'm going on a vacation from Alaska to Miami, Florida. Like, I no longer need ski boots. I need flip-flops. I need sunglasses. It's that kind of shift, okay? So changing your habit patterns, right? Yes. Again, heed your intuition in this process. I'm feeling that for you, Scorpio. Okay. Following the 10 of Wands is the 2 of Cups in reverse. Following the 2 of Cups is the 2 of Pentacles. Very interesting. Two twos in succession. Following the 2 of Pentacles is the Hangman upright. So, Scorpio. Okay. I'm feeling that whatever this old cycle was for you, whatever this old world was, it pertained to as well. Like your old habit patterns, I will say it like this, your old habit patterns in the old realm of living for you affected your propensity to tap into a more vulnerable space within yourself, right? Like facing the shadow self, facing yourself in the mirror, like that kind of reflective rapport that you have within you, between your soul self, your human self, or otherwise, right? Mind, body, soul. So it's in your habit patterns, right? That the change will come to the way that you view emotional satisfaction and your propensity to even enjoy, appreciate that moment. I'm feeling this can absolutely be just within yourself, right? You and yourself, me, myself, and I, like enjoying, right? having the peace of mind to just be able to sit in that silent space, in that solitude, and feel at peace and harmony within ourselves. See our own reflection, right? Just to even see our own reflection, to take that time to see our own reflection. It's like that, right? So whatever this old world was, whatever these old ways are, affects that sort of ability, right? To connect with yourself and others in an emotional capacity. Okay, so now following the 2 of Cups is the 2 of Pentacles. Now, and I will also say this, the changing of your habit patterns, the way you do things, can regard also the way that you approach matters of love, okay? And how you even approach emotional satisfaction and also emotional stability. So perhaps some ideologies, okay? Or even how we view a concept of love. What is love, right? That may be also uprooted by way of the change of your environment, of your habit patterns, and so on and so forth. So what is coming in place, right, is the stability of self, the self-reliance, right? This butterfly is stable because it is stable, not because it has 10, 15 pentacles, right? Like hanging from its chest because it's a mother of pentacles, because it has a baby pentacle deer, right? It's like, no, it's like the butterfly is free to fly, but it's stable. One pentacle here on one wing, another pentacle here. But it's not even on the wing. It's just even the interplay between that energy that is stable, right? That brings this butterfly into alignment. an alliance with itself. So it's about, I'm feeling, it's absolutely tied, your emotional satisfaction and your emotional stability, and even how you view stability, right? You're like thinking, is stability brought about by way of a union, or is stability, right? Is stability actually a state of being? And so, not just a state of being, but a state also, I'm hearing, of believing, right? Of where I can go once I and myself feel stable, right? Because the butterfly, it's ironic. It's stable, but it's so free. Okay? Here we see two characters, Mother of Pentacles, Daughter of Pentacles. Well, I'm assuming it's her daughter or son or whatever, right? But there are two characters on the Mother of Pentacles. It's also Earth, it's also Pentacles, but it's grounded, it's stable, it's like fixed, it's protected, it's right. It's not free. So this is a very independent card. It's a very independent energy. So what we're seeing, right, the removal of dependence, even on, right, it's like whereby emotional stability may have come from seeing ourselves in relation to our environment and another. We're now seeing that it is a matter of our own alliance with ourselves, right? And feeling that stability internally, internalizing that propensity. Okay, and then you step into the Hanged Man, ready to wake up from this whole cycle. Okay, and you've been ready. But it's like, once you bring about this stability, once you solidify whatever this newfound concept of security is for you as it regards emotions and otherwise, and also self-sufficiency, right? This flight is going to take place. Okay, so this is like the concept, right? An abstraction. And this is like the process that precedes this realization, this acknowledgement, right, of this taking on of a new perception of stability that then frees you in some way, profoundly. You're ending with this card, with the Hanged Man, Major Arcana, and it's upright. The Hanged Man is upright, but the card is in reverse. So it's like you're ready to transform from this state of just swinging, right? Being at the mercy of time, of the night, right? Like, oh, it's night. I must be in hideaway. I'll just wait. It's like, no, you're taking matters into your own hands, and you're now standing upright, right? Even in the dark of the moon, you're saying, you know what? Yeah, it's dark. It's night, but I have my inner wisdom guiding me through it. I am creating the light. I am the light, right? So, lovely. It's coming to peace, right? With that light and that dark. And that's what we talked about in the very beginning with the shadow, right? Coming to a point of facing that, right? Of facing that and realizing that, we are those two things. And that's where the union, the harmonization of self takes place, right? Is like realizing that, hey, you gotta have the dark to have the light, and you gotta have the light to have the dark, and it's making peace with that, right? It's making peace with that, and confounding any sort of fear, right, of facing that truth within ourselves. I'm feeling is gonna mark this progress here for you at the new moon. So thank you so much. I almost said Taurus, so if that applies to you, if you have a Taurus rising, ascendant, or moon sign, you may want to check that video out. I have done it yet. I have done it. Yes, okay, so check it out. If you feel that there may be crossover, it may apply. Nonetheless, I will be back with your full moon reading on the 11th of April. That's coming up quite soon, so stay tuned for that. We'll see how these energies kind of culminate, how this snake this snake tail gets moved through. And until then, feel free to check out your ascendant, rising, or moon sign, as oftentimes those will provide you with further insights into your situation. I know that I resonate a lot with my moon, even more than my sun sometimes. So it doesn't hurt to check it out. If you don't know your signs, you can click the link below in the description box that I provide, and that will compute for you your signs. Just make sure, though, when you are entering your birth time and your birth date, that your time is correct, even down to the very minute, because that can change a few signs here and there. Most likely, it will change your ascendant. All right, so play around with it, right? It's a little bit of a it's a little bit of a game, a trial and error, right? It's like if you know the exact time, then great. But if you have a ballpark time, right, you're like, I know it's definitely within the 15-minute mark of 11 p.m., then play around with that. It might not change. So, hey, right? Try it out. Nonetheless, thank you so much for tuning in, Scorpio. I hope this reading was helpful for you, and I will see you next time. All right? Bye.